I threw my phone to my son, said, get this on video. And it was gone.
20, 30 yards away was this thing peeking over this pine bush.
It was a large, hairy animal, dark brown, black hair.
All of a sudden, this creature let out I want to call it a blood-curdling, growling, howling scream.
That's when I realized it wasn't my friend that had snuck up on me.
Dude, all the branches that are broken off are red.
That's crazy. There's no medulla.
Hey guys, this is Glenn with Modern Explorer. It has been a long time since I've been able to post a video. Life has just been crazy, but a lot has been going on. I've gotten a lot of cool interviews with people, heard a lot of crazy stories. I probably have 100 left to do, but life has just been life, and Mateo's busy up in Crestone, working out there, and it's just life. Nevertheless, in order to make up for it, I've got a little bit of a twofer for you of my own experiences. In September, my son and I saw something really crazy in Canyon City. I'll go into that. And in October, I was here at my house, walking in the yard here. And I looked up and saw what I thought was maybe a balloon. Okay, I'm looking at this. That's 10 times zoom. I'm going to try and zoom in closer. I don't know what that is. Looks like a balloon. I'm going to try with my binocular. That's as good as I can get. It was a black object. It was not round. It was like a box shaped thing. And it was flying away, and I pulled my phone out and took a video and commented on it and thought nothing much of it, except it was odd shaped, and that must have been a balloon. Well, I was just watching Investigation Alien by George Knapp on Netflix, and in the opening sequence, lo and behold, there's the object that I saw in the opening sequence.
We don't know where they're from. They can do things that we can't do. Our military knows.
Again, I don't know what it is, but it was really curious. So, I put it away for about a month. Didn't even think about it till I saw that. Today, I called NOAA, N-O-A-A, National Atmospheric Administration or something like that. And I talked to the guy, and I sent him a video of it. And he saw that and said, that is the strangest looking balloon I've ever seen. I've never seen one like that. Because I just thought it was an atmospheric, a testing balloon. But it was flying up. The crazy thing is, it was probably a few hundred feet up here from my house, and it was rising pretty quickly. And it made me think, well, heck, somebody must have launched it from around here. And for the life of me, I cannot figure out why they would have launched a balloon from here in Florence. And it was heading that way. It was no breeze, no real wind. It was just rising up and away from me. And when I told it to the guy at NOAA, he also said, if there must have been a balloon of some sort, I don't know, maybe military. I said, but why from Florence would they launch it? And he said, that's a really good question. Let me know what you guys think about this. It's super curious, and yeah. Okay, I'm looking at this. That's 10 times zoom. I'm going to try and zoom in closer. I don't know what that is. Looks like a balloon. I'm going to try with my binocular. That's as good as I can get. Well, what'd you think about that? I really have no idea what that was. Again, it moved like a balloon. There was something dangling from it or something, but it was faceted. I don't know if you saw that, but it's just super interesting. So if you know what that was, what that shape was, please let me know. But the fact that it was on George Knapp's intro to that show, that really caught my attention, which prompted me to make this video. Now, secondly, my son and I were driving into Canyon a couple of weeks back, or back in October or September, and we had come across, we were driving along, and not further than 50 feet away, or 50 feet off the ground, no more than about 100, 150 feet away, we saw a metal sphere. And hey, Glenn Norberg here with Modern Explorer, and this is my son Conrad. We were just driving into Canyon City. It's September 15th, and we were driving to the auto parts place to get a battery for my truck. And as we're cruising along, Conrad looks over. It's 7:30 at night. 7:25. He looks up and says, "What's that?" And I look up, and no joke, flying, we see a metal sphere. No more than twice the height of the telephone poles, and it was flying along Highway 50, right off the highway, right above the telephone poles, basically at Napa Auto Parts. And we both saw this thing. I quick flipped a UE. I gave Conrad my phone to say video, and
by the time we made it back,
it was gone. And no more than a half a block, and it was the craziest thing in the world. What I saw was a metallic sphere, probably the size of a
like a
beach ball,
beach volleyball,
or beach ball, like the big blow up beach balls. But you saw some other details on it.
It was like the two half domes were squished together, and in the center there was a ring where they were like held together.
I didn't see that, but I did. I was driving, but I did see it was a metallic ball, and it was just at sunset. And the reason we saw that is it was silhouetted against the light of the sunset. The sun had already gone down, but it was the light of the sunset, the glow of the sky. And seriously, we whipped around. We didn't see a thing.
It was within 2 blocks. We circled
within
back.
2 blocks, easy. And it was crazy. So I'll show you exactly where it was. But it was pretty crazy.
It was pretty crazy.
And didn't hear a thing. It was just cruising along, but it was moving. And it was generally heading east.
When I first saw it, it looked like a balloon was floating in the sky. And I was like, oh, somebody lost the balloon. And then we drove closer, and I could make the silhouette out of it, the 2 domes smashed together with the ring in the center.
Yeah, it wasn't a balloon. It absolutely was not. It was a metallic sphere. So that's what we found. I'll show you where it was. Now, this is about exactly the right time as we saw the orb. We were just turning here. I'm at the corner of Reynolds and Highway 50. And we turn left right here, and hopefully the sun will be right so we can see this, but as you can see, if there is something silhouetted against the sky, it's pretty easy to see, and that's what Conrad saw initially. So let's go check it out. Got the light, let's see what happens. So as we're driving along here, you can see the silhouette of the lights, and it was right about here where we saw it, silhouetted against the sky, pretty much over the Napa building right here. I couldn't turn around because it was just like right there, so I quickly turned around up here, and as quick as I could, I missed the first turnaround back there. As soon as I made this turnaround, thinking it was a balloon or something else, we ought to be able to catch it. Well, I made the turn, and as we're coming here, it was on the other side of the tree. It should be silhouetted clearly against the sky still. And it was just above those telephone poles, and it was gone. There was nothing to see. We looked around, and yeah, there was absolutely nothing to see. We pulled in like this, we looked around, thought, well, maybe it's further down here. So we drove back down to the car wash to see what, again, we're looking. You can see how bright it is right now. This is about how bright it was at that moment. And we couldn't see anything. We looked around in here. Again, we should have seen it if it was still out. We circled, we looked, couldn't find a thing. So yeah. Okay, so this is the location where Conrad and I saw the metal ball flying just above the telephone pole heights. Those can't be more than about 40, maybe 50 feet high. I don't even, maybe not even, maybe 35 feet. This thing was low. It couldn't have been more than double the height of that pole. We saw it pretty much right here, right above the Napa Auto Parts. And it was pretty much right above the telephone lines heading this direction. The reason we saw it, the sun had set, kind of where it is now, maybe a little later, it's 7:30. The sun had set, but the sky was still glowing. And my son saw the silhouette of this ball against the sky. He told me about it. I looked, but before I could turn around here, we had to go to the next off-ramp or next turnaround spot so I can get back over here. By the time we got here, totally gone. But there's nowhere, as you can see, for it to have gone. And we looked all over the place thinking we'd see it at the speed it was moving somewhere in this area, because it was not moving fast. Now this thing was the size of a, it's probably about 3 feet diameter or so. Looked like maybe a Tesla Cybertruck, and just dull metallic. Conrad said he saw a seam going around the outside. What he said it looked like was, those when you have a power line, especially in a canyon, where they clamp those balls around a power line to keep them from blowing, and if the airplanes come by so they don't get hit by the airplane or helicopter. That's what he thought it was. But as we're driving, it was not painted. It was strictly metallic, and it was moving this direction slowly, probably 5-10 miles an hour at most. So that's the reason when we turned around, not a quarter mile away, got back over here, and it was gone. We should have seen it. If it was a balloon, we would have seen it flying that way. This was no balloon. It was metallic. It was not mylar. It was not shiny mylar. And it was absolutely spherical. It wasn't oblong or anything. It was perfectly spherical. So I'm going to be talking to local businesses around here, see if anybody's security cameras caught anything. And I'm hoping they did. So I'll let you know when I find out. But yeah, that's what we saw. Again, just over this telephone pole, heading this direction. I went all over the place looking for security cameras. Nobody caught anything on it because everybody's security cameras, of course, are looking down. I threw my phone to my son, said, "Get this on video," and it was gone. So after Conrad and I saw this thing, I started doing some research, and I know these spheres have been seen all around the world. I've talked to a couple of people here in the state who have seen them up in Colorado Springs, but theirs were smaller. What we saw was pretty big, And as I did some research, I found a video, an interview with the gentleman who in 2014 had seen virtually the same thing down in San Diego. Now, he took some video and some stills of this object, and that's what I'm going to show you next. It's really interesting, and again, it's virtually the same thing, including the ring around the outside.
So keeping my eyes on it, I walked around to the side of my house, so that this object was between my house and slightly over my neighbor's house as well, probably about 300-400 feet in the air. The object, as I studied it, appeared to be about 4 to 6 foot in diameter. And I watched it for a couple of minutes. I heard no sounds. I could see the object floating almost as if it was in water. It would rise up and down just slightly and sway back and forth a little bit. And it had what appeared to be something coming down from the bottom. I thought perhaps it was a balloon. And then the more I looked at it, the more I could see faintly some windows or a stripe going around the center of this sphere. And I decided, well, it hadn't gone away after 2 or 3 minutes, so I thought I'd take a chance, run inside, grab my camera, a Nikon, came out, set it up on a tripod, and started taking photographs of it.
Well, thanks for watching. I hope you saw, I have no idea what we were seeing. I have no idea what the black thing was. I have no idea what that metal sphere is. What it was doing in Canyon City is the other thing. That's crazy. But I saw them both within about a month of each other was curious too. So if you or anybody you know has had a curious encounter, again, let us know. encounters@modernexplorer.me. Love to hear your story. And yeah, there's a lot more coming. I've got an interview with Ron Moorhead from the Sierra Sounds. It's in the computer. I just have to edit it. Mateo and I interviewed him. And there's other interviews coming up. I've got lots of crazy stories from around in the immediate area. Another story on Highway 115 of a sighting of a Bigfoot there. And something really crazy out here just outside of Florence. A kid, a couple of months ago had something chase him. He said it was about 10 feet tall. He thinks it's a skinwalker. And some more interviews coming. So again, let us know. Encounters@modernexplorer.me. Keep your eyes peeled. I know what you see.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out.